Okay, I'm back with more cave story, and before I cut ahead to after all the bosses, I just want to show you one thing. If you have the booster, I think you can get it with the booster 0.82, but I have the booster 2.0 obviously. So if you go up here, you can actually get like a stockpile which has a bunch of items that are really helpful. There's hearts, or there's health, there's missiles, there's experience. So that's really helpful. I'm not gonna bother with experience really, just because I'm mainly gonna be using the two weapons that aren't affected by the experience drop. So I don't really care for the experience. And if you go up here, there's a sign that says, "That's all, folks." Jump to the clouds. You just get back here. Wait, there you go. Okay, so I'm just gonna skip to after I fight all the bosses. So I'll see you then. Okay, so I come back and feed up the bosses. You basically get the same boss. Well, you do get the same bosses, except for the fact that Ministry says something slightly different. She just says that she doesn't really care for the island, and that she says that we're tenacious. And that's pretty much the only difference between these three. So, same cutscene. You got the helicopter running, Ito's there, and Sue's mom, who I keep forgetting the name of. So, everything is still pretty much the same, doesn't it? Core, it couldn't be. Yes, because it defeated the core for the second time. And to look at that, Sue's back to normal as she was last time. Everything's pretty much the same actually. Especially when combo. So, and the bosses certainly are easier with the booster because it's easier to dodge the attacks than when you don't have the booster, obviously, because you can jump high or you can boost up high. So we're just going down, everything's still the same, everything's crumbling again. Sue still says the same thing over here, when Logic God, or she's gonna get crushed. Now, everything still seems the same, you don't see we're gonna get the best ending. But, okay, that was stupid. The door is open to the prefab build house, and there's a hole down there. Now, if you don't have the booster, or if you have the mini mask on, the door won't be open, I think. You can't rest, the bed's all crooked. So, all you can do is jump in, and you get counter activated. That's why you need the counter. It doesn't really help because it's not timing down, it just times your time here. But we get the sacred ground. If you go in here to the sign, it says "Welcome to Hell," and it certainly is hell. Chances are I'll be dying a lot in this part, so when I edit it so that I cut out all the deaths, it probably won't sound very coherent. Like that, there's a bunch of red spikes that are automatic kills in this part, or this level. And it's really hard, and you'll get a monologue. Well, it'll just tell the story throughout this place. This is the best ending, as I've said. There's 3 endings to this game. This is the 3rd. Did you know that the witch woman Janka once had a brother? His name was Ballas. Like his sister, he would have passed far beyond those immortals. Now we have all these experience boxes again, but again I'm not going to use them because I'm using the Nemesis and the Spur. Now there is one last life capsule here that reaches up to 35 or 55, and look who's here, Curly. Now this is why we needed her for the best ending. Because we get Curly, we got like Totoro as last time, and stick it down B2, and we have these Chobos, I think they're called. They're kind of a nuisance, and by kind of I mean very nuisance. I'm gonna use a Nemesis just because one shot kills, so it makes it really easy. Just want to make sure you avoid the falling blocks because they do 10 damage as they did when you're escaping the island. Dale's King had Ballas apprehended and thrown into prison, where it punishes abuse brutal and cruel. Humans can be terrible creatures indeed. This is talking about the person before the doctor who had the demon crown. Or was it the doctor? No, it wasn't the doctor. Wow, okay. I'll probably just be editing a lot, so, okay, finally I made it to here. That took a while. Under extreme cruelty of the torture, Ballas' magical abilities finally ran wild. The king was engulfed in the world of magic and destroyed in an instant. In a single night, the kingdom that Ballas so loved were reduced to ash and ruins. So basically, Ballas was a good guy in the beginning, and now Curly's awake and she has a nemesis too, and she will fire in the opposite direction of us, which is very helpful. And now we're at the 3rd level of this. I should probably switch to the, oh my gosh, I'm using the wrong weapon. I'm switching to the, Spur just so I don't accidentally level up my, Nemesis. And Curly has a Nemesis, so I can just always use hers, just turn on the other way, really. So that's really Curly is really helpful in this level. Okay. So now we are just making our way through. There's a bunch of chobos. I don't even know if that's what they're really called. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong if that's what they're called. I should probably level up my weapons, but as I said, I'm only going to be using Nemesis and a Spur. There's really no point in me doing that. I just find it easier to use Nemesis and the Spur just because they don't affect, the level drop doesn't really matter on them. The only difference is that, the Nemesis will get weaker while the Spur really won't. And wow, I cannot get up there for the life of me. Okay. You know, who knows, maybe I'll keep a death toll count in the top corner of this video or something. Just for fun, just so you know how much I fail. Yeah, those big ones, they just throw blocks at you. They're not much of a hazard. It's not much you need to watch out for. They're fairly easy to dodge. Because they'll always throw the blocks at the same, place. And there are actually 3 types of chobos. One is just a regular one that will just fly in and be annoying. Another one is the one that shoots arrows, and another one has swords that will block your, shots unless you shoot them above their swords or behind them or something like that. But once they're moving, the swords don't really matter. They're just kind of annoying when they're stationary. And you can find a lot of health in this place actually, but you'll actually really need it, so don't take tolls in the health that's throughout this level, because you'll really need the health. And you can't destroy those guys, those rolling things around here, so they're just kind of annoying. And I'm back with 50 health. Jenka, seeing her brother's madness, confined into this floating island. That was the most she can do. Even as she could not bring herself to kill her own brother. Okay. So now we're just fighting a bunch of chobos. And trying to kill. See, this is why Curly's really helpful. But I still leveled up, so I best switch back to my Spur and my phone's right. But it's just Twitter, so I'll just check it. Okay, Firewall seemed really help right here just to get rid of that one. And then charge up the Spur, because charging up is always a good thing to do. These arrow ones can be kind of annoying too. And I got that one on top, so I will go over there and destroy these doors. If you didn't notice already, these doors have a countdown after you damage it enough, and then it will go down to 0 and explode, similar to those gas bombs in the other part, but in the the egg corridor, except they're not quite as deadly because it's a smaller blasting range. And yeah, there's a lot of parts where the chobos will just spawn out of a hole. They're not that hard because they always spawn in the same place. Just stay under them or next to them and just keep shooting, and you should be able to kill them fairly easily. And it's always best to use, in my opinion, Spur is easiest to use if you don't have the Nemesis with you, just because it can kill most of the enemies in 1 or 2 shots. Well, I mean the smaller ones in 1 or 2 shots. The big ones take like a charge shot to kill. Or just like a number, because it takes like 100-something damage, I think. And these you can just shoot it with either 1 Nemesis shot or a few Spur shots. It's fairly easy. Curly, as I said, will really help in this level. And while I'm not taking as much damage as I usually do. Yeah, these chobos will be annoying though. I'm not sure how much damage the explosion does, and I don't really want to find out, because that will probably kill me actually. But the blasting range is really easy to stay out of, so you really don't have to worry about that. And up there in that block, it's some missile upgrade. It's the last missile upgrade in this game. It was Jenga's daughter, Misery, who made the balls create the dimming crown. She was subsequently cursed by the crown, forced to do the bidding of all who wear it. If the crown is destroyed, the curse is lifted. However, ... See, that's why, oh yeah, she also said that, if you don't have the mask on, she'll tell you that, she is cursed, that she has to always follow the person who is the demon crown. Now, if you get this box right here, it's a chest, and if you open it, maximum increased by 24, so now we have 54 missiles, which, unfortunately I won't really be using those, and I don't want to get hit by spikes. But we have a mini boss right now, and there'll be more and more revealed, and I should have shot it right there. It's really easy to shoot, just stand under it, and then keep shooting upwards. You want to dodge that attack right there. It does about 10 damage, I believe. And I should try dodging more, because I just keep getting hit by those rolling balls, but I can't really see it because of all the smoke from the Nemesis and all that jazz. But he's fairly easy to kill, this boss right here. Even though I have died because of these stupid chogos who keep spawning and they're really annoying. They infinitely spawn, so if you want, you can try getting all your health through them, but it's not really necessary. And once you're almost done killing this thing, you're gonna want to shoot it and run through as well. Oh, I thought you need to rush, but I guess not. Yeah, it will kill you. It will crush you if you don't go out of the way. And as I said, we're going to be returning here. This is when we return here. Now, even if the crown is destroyed, it will only rise again every time, as long as Ballas lives. Such is the strength of his soul that permeates the ground. And you can't go back to Plantation, I believe. It won't open. But if you go over here, the statue chamber, the Doctor statue is now finished. And if you destroy all these statues, wait, actually I'm not gonna do that quite yet because I want to read these. Called Chimpone, I'm not gonna pronounce that. Mia Kid and something date. I don't really want to try to pronounce that. Hiko date. That's the Doctor's name apparently. And you can actually destroy all these statues to get health. Well, I was hoping it would be health, but I guess not. And you have Quote, Sue, King, and Curly. Oh, that's Toroko. Quote, King, and Curly, which is kind of cool. But, anyways, I think I want to cut this video right here, simply because this is the door to the final boss. So, the next time we'll be facing Ballas, and that's pretty much it, so I'll see you in the next part.